Dear students, a very good afternoon to all of you. I hope all of you are studying well and your preparation is really very intact and you are well prepared for the exam, especially the semester 1 exam which is going to be held in MCQ mode. I think you have already apprised of the modes of the exam, that it will be held in offline at school. You will have your familiar environment there, usual environment I should say. So there is no such anything of concern, what I believe. Nothing to be concerned for here, for all of you. You must not get too much obsessed with all these things, that how is it going to be held, what are we going to write there, what kind of questions are we going to face in the exam. These are all inessential and completely nonsense. You will get your usual atmosphere here in the school and you will be there with your fellow classmates and the syllabus is already mentioned to you and I believe you have perused it well. So nothing to be afraid of. It is very clear, very much easy. Syllabus is planned. You got your time. We know that we could not serve you at par with the usual way we do it, but still we tried hard. It's not only teachers who tried hard, but you also. You had to cope up with our facilities, with the way we tried to convey and impart our education. You had to cope up with it. Some of the teachers also had to cope up with the new scenario, and I believe that all of us, we have worked hard. I believe it so. And if there is a hard work behind anything, there must be some positive outcome for it. So I'm expecting the best of the outcome. Okay? So now come back to your drama. Here, Act 3 is there, scene 1, 2 and 3. So remember one thing, that it is mandatory you read the unabridged text of the Tempest and you read it carefully enough so that you may not miss any subtle points, anything that may be there in the question paper. There is no such, not much is there to be considered. There are very simple things which are happening there in these three things. So the technique will be like that. You make a list. Scene 1, what are the main actions that can characterize this scene? You point it out, note it down, and the particular characteristics, traits of particular characters. What kind of traits are visible and could be inferred from the dialogues which are there in these scenes? So according to their dialogues, you particularly note down a dialogue, and according to that dialogue, what kind of traits can be inferred that you write on the other column. Okay, that should be your technique. So for all the characters, first you name the characters, scene 1, 2, 3. So scene 1 will have two columns. One is dialogue, another is traits. Scene 2, same thing, dialogue, traits. Scene 3, dialogue, traits. So that's how you will have to make a list, a column. Okay, so this will be handy just before the exam. Because if the examiner asks you some questions about a particular traits of a particular character, what you have to remember is that what did that character say? It is the dialogues that defines what they are. So that's how you try to make some columns and cells, a chart containing all the characters, divided into scenes, and each scene is divided into two. One is the dialogue, another is according to the dialogue what traits can be inferred for that particular character. So that's how you try to prepare it. It will be very, easier for you to glance through the incidents of this act just before the exam, and that will give you a great leverage in finding out the correct answer. Because there is no sorry, because there is no negative mark, so I hope you will choose at least one out of the 4 options. You will have to manually write down the options, particular option A or B or C. 4 options will be there. Below it there will be a blank place. There we will have to mention which option you are choosing. Okay, so it's not that you will have to fill some round shape or any other thing or give tick, not like that. You have to write the particular choice of answers that you have chosen. So it is mandatory that you choose one, and while choosing the correct answer, if it is an MCQ exam, the funda is like that. You try to find out which cannot be the answer for the particular question. You sort it out. It's called rule of elimination. You try to eliminate the wrong answer, and by you try to reach to the correct answer, and that's how it will be easier and safer for you to reach the correct answer. One more thing that we were told during our orientation with the CISC resource person, that they will take the meaning or take the answer for a particular question according to the context of that scene. The scene wherefrom the dialogues have been taken, according to that scene, whichever the inference can be made, that inference will be the answer. If you take it or consider it from the point of the whole drama, if you consider the whole drama and then you consider a particular question, its answers might be something different. But actually, because scenes have been mentioned, act has been mentioned, so you have to be particular, you have to be focused that in that act, in that particular scene, what kind of traits can be inferred from the dialogues of a character. This is very important, I am telling you. Okay, according to that scene, what can be inferred will be taken as granted, will be taken for the answers of a question. So don't judge the thing from the whole point of view. You can't just watch it from the bird's eye view. Okay, you have to be precious, you have to be judicious, and precision must be there. Your limitation is Act 3, that is the bracket where you have to confine yourself. Okay, so the more you confine yourself there within that bracket, the more you can find out the correct answer for a question which you can find in the exam. So that is the way to reach to the correct answer. Okay, and rule of elimination, that is very, very, very important for all of you. Rule of elimination. You have to eliminate the incorrect options. By you can get to the correct option. That is very, very, very important for you. Don't just plunge into a particular choice of answers. 4 choices will be there. Don't plunge into one. You should not plunge into one. Okay, you have to choose it judiciously. Take time, understand what is asked, justify the particular context which is given. A context will be provided to you, and from that context questions will be asked. So you read the context carefully, and then you try to understand what the context is trying to say, or what kind of light is thrown at a particular character through that context, through the dialogues. Then you judge the answers. Don't judge the answers as a whole. You have to be particular, you have to be focused. The bracket is Act 3. So everything that is happening inside Act 3, including 3 scenes, okay, you have to consider it carefully. According to those scenes, you have to find out the answers. Contextual answers will be given priority. That was what told to us by the CISC resource person. Contextual answers and answers that will follow a particular context will be taken for granted. So I expect that it is better you keep on revising the chapters instead of revising the ready-made question answers. That will actually make you confused during the exam. The more you read only question answers without reading the context, if you go through the question answers, then you are sure to be confounded, you are sure to be confused during the exam. Nothing can deter you from getting confused during the exam if you only read and mug up some ready-made question and answers. So you can throw them away, you can burn them, that is your choice, but you read the text that you have. And it is also told to us, to the teachers, to tell the students that an abridged version of the Tempest will be considered for a liable text while making the questions. So I hope you can collect and you can access, you have that access to the unabridged text of the Tempest. If you do not have the paperback, you can get it as a PDF and try to read the Act 3, Scene 1, 2, 3. And the moment you are finding any kind of obstacles in your understanding, you must, and I have already told you that don't hesitate contacting me. I will try my best to clear your doubts. So I hope you are revising well. All of you have grown up and you are now mature enough to understand what is awaiting for your future. And I know you are determined to set the course of your future right now as you are about to write the ISC and surpass the protecting bubble of school and step outside there in the open world that is vulnerable. So keep yourself prepared so that nothing can deter you from achieving what you want to do. That's all for today, students. We will meet again in the next class. Till then, revise well. Thank you very much.